Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
Good, good. I had a really great weekend.
Did you?
Actually, I had a pretty great week.
Good.
And I got to say, I think it has to do with this book.
Uneffing yourself?
Yeah, this book right here. And you know what? I did hit a lot of you guys up to actually join us today. And I'm actually still have a couple of texts going out. I'm using that hit 'em up, that really cool hit 'em up text. Just because, you know, like I told you, I really thought that this particular stuff was some of the best stuff any book ever had. Any book ever. So I'm just going to jump right in if I can.
All right. That's a bold statement, by the way, sir.
I know.
That's a bold
you,
statement.
And it's going to take a little while to warm up to it, but the material is just off the charts. Thank you.
Okay.
So here we go. I'm going to jump right in. So again, if you recall, you know, the Unf Yourself was just kind of about like, you know, getting out of your own head and figuring out what great things, you know, you can do with your life and how to do that. But right as the last half of the book started to wrap up, we started to come into the next section, which was uncertainty.
Okay.
And uncertainty is like so, I know it sounds crazy, I'm so excited about it. It's so powerful. So,
okay.
And if you recall, I kind of mentioned like uncertainty is where new happens. Do you remember me talking about that at all?
No.
And that means that like when you don't know what's going to happen and you're going into a situation that you're not used to or whatever, all of a sudden like the universe starts to open up and cool things start to happen and new people show up in your life and new conversations happen and new transactions for realtors pop up or new people that end up being great friends with the kids or whatever, you know, or with your kids. It's just, you just never know what's going to happen. So that being the case, you know, I'm going to just start talking about it. So first off, everyone is an addict about something, Jenny. This is what the book says. Everyone is an addict about something. And the question is, you know, what is your drug of choice? Okay.
I agree. I totally agree. And that's why I get so mad at people like, oh, no, everyone has a problem.
Yeah, I mean, and it could be, I mean, and I know just from like other friends of mine that are millennials and stuff, it could be a video games.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be addicted to video games, it could be whatever. But, you know, it could be drugs, right? It could be all kinds of stuff, alcohol, whatever. However, the one universal addiction that we all have is the craving to be able to predict things and to have some form of certainty moving forward in your life, okay? So, for example, do you check the weather app?
No.
You've never checked the weather app? I know some of you guys do.
I check it occasionally.
Do you, so I want to know, is it going to rain? What's the weather going to be tomorrow?
Okay.
How are my stocks going to perform? What's happening with Bitcoin, with all the crazy stuff that Adam talks about? You know what I mean? What's going to happen with the real estate market? What does this economist think? What if I tune in here? What does Chuck think about this? What does Jenny think about that? Because we're all searching for that certainty. We all want to know what's going to happen with the market. Is this a good time to buy? Is this not a good time to buy? You know, stuff's going for $100,000 over. Should I still be doing it? Like, so everybody's searching for certainty.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And so it's because we want to be prepared. And we want to be prepared for what might be coming. So we're trying to create certainty. And a lot of times you'll meet somebody, you'll look right at them, Jenny, and you're like, you're summing them up. Like, is this somebody that I trust or I don't trust? You know, should I avoid this person? Should I, you know, be friends with this person? Because you're trying to predict the certainty of that person.
Okay, I'm getting it.
You know, do you take vitamins? Sometimes you get on vitamin kicks. It's because you're trying to prevent illness so that you can say, my body is certainly going to be doing great in the future.
Yeah.
So, you know, basically, we're generally, by taking the vitamins, by checking the weather apps, by checking our stocks, by listening to economists, we're afraid of taking risks and trying to create that certainty. But more importantly, we try to stay inside of our little organized certain worlds.
I like it. Okay, I'm seeing it.
Do you know what I'm talking about? So, like, I walk home, I make my same breakfast every day. You know, I see you girls, you go to the same place for lunch every day or order the same places or whatever. And it's because we're afraid of the uncertainty that goes on in the outside world, where if we know we bring our lunches or do this or that or whatever, we can stay inside that little organized certain world, right?
Yeah.
So, kind of cool, right? Now.
Yeah, and I lied. I do check the weather app. I just thought about that.
I know you do. I've seen you do it.
Yeah, I do check it.
That's why I was like,
She's a liar.
Right. So that being the case, you know, it just kind of talks about that the world can be a scary place. If you're walking down an alley at night,
hell no.
You can be certain. If you could be walking behind the
hell
motel
no.
here at night, you can be walking down the motel at 2 p.m. here. You know what I mean? But it just kind of talks about how life is a little bit of Russian roulette. Right? No matter where you go, no matter what you do, you know, you get yourself into situations where you're kind of concerned or whatever. And, you know, there's still like little beasts and creatures when you're walking out around too at night, like, you know, coyotes or this or that or whatever, which goes all the way back to like the caveman days. But it's not as scary as it was like 1,000 years ago. Because now we have medicine, we have technology. Yeah, we're scared about violence and, you know, getting mugged or doing this and that. But really, it's still really, really rare for that to ever happen. But we're still concerned about it.
Right.
And that's because we're concerned about certainty. Right? There's still deadly diseases. But to be honest, they're pretty rare. I mean, pretty rare. But that survival instinct is what's kept us alive like all these years and years and years. By the way, did you know that the reason that we have BO so bad was to keep away all the animals and stuff so that they didn't chase after us back in the day?
That's awesome.
Did you know that? So Adam, you don't have to worry about it, dude. They're not going to come after you.
You're safe, man. You're safe.
And here's, obviously he loves quoting the Greeks, right? The desire for safety stands against every great and noble enterprise. So staying inside our little worlds and our little certainty, we never will really go out and do something great. We never will really, do something big and noble and change the world because guess what? We're at home watching Netflix. That's what you're doing, Adam. I know you are. I see you all the time doing that. Taking Arthur for a walk and watching Netflix. Not going to do anything great doing it that way. So when you stick to kind of what you're comfortable with, doing the same things you've always done, you're in effect like living in the past. You're living in the systems that you've created for yourself, and you're not moving forward. You see why I'm getting excited about this material? You get it? And you're writing stuff down, so I feel like you got something.
Jeremy and I just had this conversation yesterday about savings account and Bitcoin.
Okay.
Because I'm much more of a certainty in that way. I never knew, I never want to go back to not having money for Stater Brothers or that type of thing. It's that fear. And, Bitcoin, I shouldn't say Bitcoin, currency, whatever, cryptocurrency, we don't know.
Gambling.
We don't know gambling. But it's different gambling, as I'm explained to daily.
Correct. Right. Oh yeah.
But so these are conversations that we have in our home all the time.
Exactly. Well, and it really does. It keeps coming down to certainty versus uncertainty, and you're probably nervous about some of that stuff. So here's where it starts to get good. So if we don't leave our bubbles, Adam, then how are you going to see new places? How are you going to make new friends if you never leave the house?
Why are you picking on me today?
I don't know. I just feel like.
What did I do?
I don't know. You just got a target on your head today. I don't know what it is. But if you never leave the house, you can't. And I'm talking to myself in most of this. And the reason I'm so excited about it is because I'm talking to myself.
Okay.
And I'm not doing any of this for you people. None. I'm doing this for me. And I'm trying to figure out how to unfuck myself.
Yeah.
All right. And it's working. All right. So here we go.
I love it.
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
And un-F myself. All right. So here we go. Success is never certain, and it never comes without risk. Do you remember, Michael, when we had Steve Games on? And Games said that the amount of profit and success that you're going to have in life is directly linked to the amount of risk that you take. Right? That's what he said. And he said that to me about 5 times.
Okay.
And when I hear him say risk, I don't know about you guys, but like I pucker up. I'm like, risk? Wait, I've worked hard. I can't lose all my money or do this or do that or whatever, and lose my house and blah, blah, blah. But, in any moment of decision, the best thing you can do, you have to take risks to have success. You know what I mean? So that's really what it comes down to. And there's a quote that's in the book. It says, in any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing you can do is the wrong thing. And the worst thing you can do is nothing. So give it a shot. Try. That's Teddy Roosevelt quote. You got some great quotes in here too. And they put them with all the Greek philosophers. That's pretty cool. So missing the target isn't the worst thing you can do. Not taking the shot is.
Okay.
So, and if you look at really, really successful people, you've always think they have it figured out, right? Oh my God, look at that guy, look at that girl. She's so confident, she's got charisma, she's got talent. She just makes everything look easy. This has been an easy ride for her. Her life has been easy. But guess what? Do they have something that you don't? Are you charismatic, Jenny?
Yes, sometimes.
Wow, and humble.
Today, I started with good music today, so I'm like on fire.
All right, good. So
you've told me I am.
Oh no, you are. You're great. But like all these people, like the really, really famous, the Oprahs, the Ellens, all that. Their trips have not been easy, and they haven't been certain.
Right.
And they say, like for example, Oprah. I mean, they've had doubt like 100 times a day, on what they're doing, and I think we all still do. And I think that's what holds us down and puts us in the situation we are.
For sure.
It's why we're not Martha Stewart and President of the United States or whatever. So. But they did it anyway. This is what makes them special. They ignored their doubts and they kept pushing forward. They were, here's the word, relentless. They were relentless. And I know people that are very, very successful, and I can tell you they are relentless. So, but if you think about stars or entertainers or people that have achieved greatness and then have you guys ever, and I'm going to ask everybody, you too, Michael, have you guys ever seen the big stars or entertainers that really kicked ass and became something and then just disappeared into obscurity?
For sure.
You guys know who I'm talking about? It's like those one-hit wonder songs or, those people. And, can you think of any right now?
I just, Come On Eileen just popped in my head for some one-hit
I
wonders.
get knocked down and I
and
get
then
up again.
I ain't never going to keep me down. Chumbawamba.
Yeah. So, but the bottom line is that they reached a level of success and they hit a comfort zone and they backed off. I keep thinking of Arsenio Hall. The guy just went boom, boom. You know what I mean? Like so many big stars have hit it big. And it goes for our own lives too, that we have to be careful about that, because they climbed and climbed and climbed and climbed, and then they hit a level of success financially or whatever, which is what I'm afraid of for a lot of people on this call. And then they settle back into their comfort zone because they hit what they want.
Right.
Agents out there, real estate agents. I can tell, there's our top 10, I can tell you exactly how much they're gonna make within about 10 grand. That's a $400,000 agent. That's a $265,000 agent. That's a $100,000 agent. Why? Because they hit that comfort zone, right? And that comfort zone kind of like settles us back in. And you know, the problem with uncertainty and with, you know, hitting your goals and this and that is it can either make you rich or poor. How you handle uncertainty can make you rich or poor, because you reach up, you hit that financial level, and you don't want to go any further because you're comfortable, and the uncertainty is too scary, and I'm going to stay right here. Real.
It's true.
So chasing what doesn't exist, that's the next one.
Okay.
No matter how much you chase certainty, right, trying to be stable and safe and all that sort of stuff, you know, it will never kind of remain because it doesn't exist. Nothing is really certain. I mean, nothing is certain. Tomorrow is not. You could not wake up tomorrow, Jenny.
I know.
I mean, Jeremy could not wake up tomorrow. I could not wake up tomorrow. All of a sudden, you know, you just can never predict what life will bring, and our plans always change. And that's kind of what I'm realizing now, because like we want to live in these boxes, guys. We want to live in this little safe box, and here's my room, and here's my breakfast, and here's my lunch. But really, it's going to change.
Does that mean we're going somewhere else for lunch today?
You are. That's exactly what you're going to do. That's exactly what you're going to do. We're specifically going to talk about that. So anyway, so I'm going to keep going. Socrates, as you called him.
Yes.
Socrates. All I know is that I know nothing. That's it. He's considered the most, that's one that's supposed to be like the most famous quote of all time in all philosophy. All I know is that I know nothing. Because you don't. You can't predict what's going to happen. Tomorrow's not guaranteed, right? And a lot of what we're going to get into is like living in the moment and living in the now. And the person who accepts unpredictability, uncertainty, they can embrace it, and it can make it part of their life, which is what I want to do.
Okay.
And what I want you guys to do, and what I want you to do, Jenny, and you boys to do over there. So, and successful people, they're just not afraid of it. It's just part of life. And I think that even like just listening to Oprah and the few shows I have seen and stuff, I believe that she would say like, accepting and embracing uncertainty is just kind of like being open to the real magic and miracles of life. Wouldn't you say that that'd be something that she happens, just like, what's going to happen today? Where am I going to go? You know?
Be open.
And how many things in our life have we, you know, thought we're right, and then 5 years they're proven wrong, 10 years they're proven wrong, 20 years they're proven wrong. Like how many? So nothing is certain. Even things that you think, these stupid shots we just got for COVID. I mean, hey, you never know.
I know.
I mean,
we could be dead in 2 months.
Michael's kids could have 3 arms.
They could.
I mean,
if he gets to have any, we don't know.
If he gets to have any, right? At all, right?
Yeah.
So if we can't be certain about what's going to happen today, you know, how are we? Not because he won't find a woman, because of the COVID.
No, I meant the COVID. I meant the vaccine.
Okay, just making sure. What's going to happen today? How are we supposed to predict tomorrow? And that's exploring. So one of the other things I was, you know, so again, like this uncertainty thing is new for me, right? Because I've always been in relationships, always had this, always had that. Now I'm by myself doing stuff. So it's kind of like a new world, right? But this weekend I went to a big party at somebody's house that I wouldn't normally go to. I say yes to everything. And this one really hit me. So it's fear of being judged, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we all have this. So the reason half of us don't do things is because we have the fear of being judged. Fear of being put in an uncomfortable situation that makes us look or feel awkward.
Amen. Fear
of being put in an uncomfortable situation. Right, Catherine Smith? I see her smiling. She knows exactly what I'm saying. Fear of being put in an uncomfortable situation that makes us look or feel awkward. And we're so afraid that people think we're a failure. I mean, showing up to a party by myself is kind of different.
It's scary, I know.
I'm like, hey!
I know.
You know? But you do it, and you move through it because, you know, why? We're going to embrace the uncertainty.
And you knew people there.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like you're walking in somewhere where you didn't know anyone.
Oh, yeah. And
but it's still scary.
And the next thing you know, I got introduced to this person that introduced me to this person that introduced me to this person, which I'm really excited to know now. So it's like it just, you know what I mean? So it's very interesting. So anyway.
Step out of your box.
What's that?
Step out of your box.
Step out of my box, that's right. So embracing the uncertain. Here's some more info. And I know when you think about showing up to a party alone, or you know whether you're going to a client that invited you to a baby shower or whatever, and you don't know anybody there, you know, people might be squirming in their chairs right now, even on this call. And some things are just out of our control, and that's why he says to say this. Ready? I embrace the uncertainty. I embrace the uncertainty. You know, and that's hard for somebody who's a control freak like me. And you've seen me, like somebody move my pencil.
It's true.
Adam,
people.
you sit at my desk, you're dead. You know what I mean? So So, maybe all the things that you ever dreamed of, though, are waiting for you in uncertainty. Maybe, well, I don't even think it's a maybe. He used the word maybe. I think expanding out and getting out of your little organized creature comfort world, for some people, it's going to open it up. Now, you're like, no, I love my world. I'm not leaving.
No, but we talked about this weekend. Actually, it's really funny that this is what this is about.
And what did you guys talk about?
We talked about how, we do a lot of the same vacations, but like we're going to Tennessee next week, which we've never done. And we want to get stamps in our passports. We're like, gosh, do we do these things first or these things first? Do we want to see more? Or do we it's just, but it's the uncertainty because we keep in our little
bubble.
Yeah, because it's safe and comfortable. And
Exactly. Sonia, do you have any comments on certainty versus uncertainty and kind of like, again, so if everything you dreamed about, but they could be good and they could be bad, but the good part about uncertainty, it's overflowing with opportunity and progress. And that's how I feel. Like I said, this last week, I've done 4 or 5 things I've never done before.
And
yes.
I feel like someone who sits across from you has been saying all week, what if this? You just need to open up. You need to just think about what could be out there.
Look, you have to make me think it's my idea.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot you're a man.
If you tell me what to do, it's not going to work.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
All right, Sonia, what you got?
Well, certainty and uncertainty is so much of the 6 human needs that I talk about a lot in coaching that I learned through the Tony Robbins program. And what is interesting is real estate is basically a very uncertain career. It's commission-based. You're dealing with different people all the time. You're dealing with a lot of people. And where the challenge comes in is when your basic need is certainty, and then you jump into real estate and realize there's no certainties. It's really fun working with people, beginning to understand, that their basic need may be that they need certainty, but they're in a career where there is no certainty.
And Sonia, it's why I think real estate people are such badasses.
Yeah.
If I could be around anybody, I want to be around real estate people because these guys, right, Sonia, they put it out there.
Right. You're
going for it. And you know who's going to help you? We can help you a little bit, but it's all you.
Yep.
And so those are the true entrepreneurs, and you're right about that. So that being the case, Sonia, one of the things they were saying is if you start to embrace it and accept it and take in the things that are coming into you, here's some examples. Maybe we were talking about this. Take a different way to work. Instead of bringing your lunch, go somewhere new. Who are you going to meet? Invite somebody you haven't been with. Who knows what's going to happen? Talk to that girl or guy that caught your eye, if you're single, right? All those sorts of things. It's just, and he calls it opportunity hunting. And whether it's from your personal relationships or to your career, whether you want to get in shape, make more money, find a future spouse, what it is, whatever it is, just opportunity hunting. And here's one that was good. We get upset when we figure out that most of our worry is about trying to predict the future, and then when stuff doesn't go our way, we get freaked out, because we think this is how it should look tomorrow at work, right? And then it doesn't go that way, and we lose our shit. But if you start changing your mindset and looking at it and saying life is an adventure, then it starts to open up. Are you with me on this, Sonia? Do you like this material?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm actually going to be giving a class here in a couple of weeks on certainty, uncertainty, all the 6 human needs.
You're going to love this.
It's right in line.
There's a couple more things coming up you're going to love. And I started to get excited with where it's headed now. So here's the big thing. Focus, and Sonia, you're my coach, all right? Ready, Jenny? Talking to myself here, all right? Focus on the things you can control and release yourself from worrying about the things you can't. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control
those boys over there.
Those guys. Stock market. What Jenny thinks of my haircut. I can't control that stuff.
No.
But there are certain things you can control. And the rest of it, the only thing that's guaranteed in life is uncertainty. And the only thing we know is that we know nothing. So again, we're supposed to say it, I embrace the uncertainty. And so that's the uncertainty section, but I liked it. It got me fired up. So you're not defined by what's inside your head. You are by what you do, your actions. And I always said, if I had a daughter, I would say, don't listen to that guy. Pay attention to how he treats you and what he actually does. What are his actions? Do he say, open the door for you? Does he pull out your chair for you? All those sorts of things. I don't have one, but I always wanted one so I could say that. But you're not defined by what's inside your head, but by your actions themselves. So if you change your thoughts, you can kind of change your life, is what he's saying here. This is the next chapter. So when you look at the clock and you see that it's 10:34 a.m., and I guarantee that we all do this, and you have stuff to do. You got things you got to get done, but you're starting to think well, it's only an hour and 25 minutes until lunch, Jenny. You know what?
What are we going to have?
Yeah, what are we going to have? What are we going to do? And I know you guys all get sucked into this. Don't lie. And what am I going to eat today? Should I go across the market or should I go up to the sports shop? And what's happening? The time is ticking away and I'm not getting things done.
Right.
Then you pick it up. Oh, I got some emails. Then you get sucked into social media. Or, you know what? I needed to order. I just bought a new range golf ball finder this morning when I woke up, where you check your email or you get sucked into an online dating site or whatever. And next thing you know, you turn your head and it's 11:13.
Yeah.
Right? And somebody walks by your cubicle and you're trying to shut it all down really fast because you hope they don't see what's behind you, which is probably why you love your chair because we never see what you're working
I
on.
love my chair.
But I'd rather do, I'd rather anything other than what I have to get done some days.
Sure.
And I think that goes to, super successful people and not so successful. It's just something across the board. So, even the most successful people in the world get sucked into rabbit holes, and we all do. The only difference with the successful people is it happens less. And even when they are getting sucked in, this is what they kind of thought of it as visual, they start to kind of lean in. They're leaning in a little bit more to the things they need to get done than maybe the unsuccessful people who are really allowing themselves to get trapped back in these rabbit holes. They act anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Totally.
So, and hey, we're all going to have pointless, irrelevant thoughts. Some of us more than others.
A lot.
Some of us more than others. Feelings of unworthiness, being judged, not belonging, all that stuff. There'll always be those negative thoughts. But it happens. And this goes back to one of my favorite things. Sonia, this is my favorite. Everybody out there, this is one of my favorites. Tristan, I want you to put this one in later, this clip right here. You don't have to feel like today is your day. You don't have to have this great mood, this inspiration, this motivation, because those can be fickle friends, right? You don't have to feel like today's your day. You just have to act like it is. It's like we talked about before, like, I have to work out every day. I pay a trainer to make me go because he'll charge me if I don't go, right? I don't want to go. But how good do you feel when you leave? You're working out in the mornings. How often do you want to go work out?
5 days a week.
How often do you want to go out?
3.
Okay. You want to go work out 3. But, and the other 2, do you still do it?
Yeah.
How good do you feel afterwards?
Great.
Right? So that's not just working out or not just trainers, but it's life. You don't have to feel like today's your day, but you just have to go through the motions, right, Sonia? You know what I mean? You just, whether it's 15 minutes, I sent out 169 texts this morning reminding people of this thing because I thought this was this important.
Yeah.
And I could have easily gotten sucked into, some text Adam sent me.
Totally. You
but
did good. I'm really proud of you.
That's right. And those of you I didn't text, I still love you. I just can only get to that.
Yeah, because he's last minute Joe sometimes.
But I did it.
Yeah.
So you change your life by doing, not by thinking about it, by actions. And so I thought that was pretty cool.
I love it.
I see Sonia shaking her head. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chuck, so many times words are more of we're trying to convince ourselves, we're trying to convince the people around us that we're going to do something. I see that in when people set goals. I'm going to do this, I have to do this, I need to do this. And they're convincing themselves, but it's the actions that really make the difference. And that's what I look for. Who's actually doing it? Just along what you're saying, those who do it, make the success, are successful.
So,
those who talk about it, continue talking about it.
Boy, and haven't we met them along our lives, Sonia? I can't stand talkers, boy. Yeah. If you're not a doer, don't hang out with me. Don't say you're going to do something, not do it, Jenny.
I know.
All right? Jeez. So
get it together.
Along those same lines, Sonia, listen to this one. Ready? Have you ever noticed that when you're fully immersed in something productive, all of your problems, all of your negative reservations, all of them disappear? Have you ever noticed that? That when you're really, and athletes call it the zone. Like when you're out running, Michael, when you were running in college and stuff, right? Like, dude, when you're out practicing, you're not thinking about anything else. You're just thinking about getting the job done. And there's some peace to that,
Yeah.
And that's part of why I like golf. You're out there for 5 hours and you really don't think about much other than the game at hand. Working out, going to the gym is the same kind of thing. And I know Sonia does, thinks on her runs and stuff like that, but there's a lot of times that we're just so immersed that kind of distracts you. And again, that's the difference between action versus thought, right? Because inaction, doing nothing, breeds doubt and fear, and action breeds confidence and courage. And if you want to conquer fear, don't sit at home and think about it. Go out and get busy.
Yeah.
Right? So inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. And if you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. Dale Carnegie said that. I can't take credit.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your honesty.
All right, Tristan, I want you to remember this clip, okay? When we act and not think, we don't have time to think about anything else, which is what I just said. It's hard to focus on our internal worrying when we're busy getting things done. It creates momentum too. So as you're working out and as you start doing more actions, it becomes more and more positive. So what you got to do is you got to put the key in the ignition, you got to crank it, you got to start to drive. And for all of us today, do something different. Dump the negative and unproductive thoughts. Act in the moment, and F how you feel. Act. You know what you guys need to do to be successful in your businesses. You know the texts you need to send. You know the calls you have to make. So F how you feel and act, and watch what happens. Success will follow. I text 169 people. I probably have 100 people text me back. That's called a conversion. That's called talking to someone. That's called Chuck was thinking about me. That's called, and I'm going to engage every one of them back. It's what we have to do. So act in the moment. F how you feel. Act. Okay.
Okay.
Don't wait for that proper mood or magic feeling.
Okay.
Because it's not about psyching yourself up. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go make my calls. I'm going to send out my texts. I'm going to send out my social media. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's about, I got to do this. I'm going to do it. And then start that momentum.
Okay.
Changing your life by changing our actions, right? With me?
Yeah.
Anybody have any comments on that? Because you're more than welcome to jump in if you do. Because I know everybody should be acting. And F how you feel. If you do, just jump in, guys.
Chuck, it doesn't always mean you have to do big things either.
Right.
It's the little things that you do consistently on a daily basis that can make a big difference in your business.
True. And I agree with that. And so whether, that's why I say 10 little texts, 5 little texts, 3 little personal notes.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be huge, guys.
Yeah, I mean, so, and they talked about Jobs and Gandhi and Rosa Parks and Abraham Lincoln, and they all had doubt. And they all had worry, but they acted, and they toiled, they doubted, they had sleepless nights. They worried, they were embattled, but guess what they did? They ground it out, doing the tasks one thing at a time, until their work and life finally aligned. So life's never going to get easier, so take your negative bullshit along for the ride and just say, I'm going to go do it. Here I go, because there's never a proper moment.
Yeah.
And for you guys that are avoiding prospecting and avoiding sending out, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 personal notes, avoiding sending out those texts, avoiding making that post, avoiding making comments on 50 of your people's social media posts, there's never a proper moment. Just put it down and do it. And that is how the success will come. And just remember, you're not your thoughts. I have good intentions, but I am what I do. So sitting there is just not going to make anything happen. So when we get off this call, I want everybody to do something, Jenny.
Okay.
You too. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm actually going to go sign up these 2 people that are on the call.
Oh, they're not on the call?
They're on the call.
Oh, who are they? I want to give them a hard time.
Ethan, we're signing up today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Ethan, welcome to the club. You just joined the winning team. I love it. All right, so
thank you very much.
You're very welcome, man. You're very welcome. And hey, you guys, feel free to turn on your cameras too. I do like to see who's on here. But okay, so the next section, remember I was talking about being I am relentless? And I believe this. Our biggest successes are born out of discomfort, uncertainty, and risk. Our biggest successes are born out of discomfort, uncertainty, and risk. And Tristan, I want you to cut this one up, okay? So this is important. So think back to some of the biggest successes you've ever had in your entire life. All of you guys, everybody out there. I want you to think back to what are the biggest successes you've ever had in your life. And how did you achieve it? How did you achieve those big successes that you had in your life? Were you sitting on the couch? Were you thinking about it? Or did it require action and you went out there and you kicked some ass, you made something happen, you built a plan and you did it? Because I doubt you just got lucky and scratched a frickin' lotto ticket and won. I really doubt that happened.
Yeah.
And even this company, this studio, and what Adam's manifesting in here, and all these different things. It's not because he sat on the couch. It's because we made a plan and actually moved forward, even when we didn't want to. So it might beat in this point to death.
A little bit, but that's okay. I don't think you said what you want everyone to do when you get off the call, because we went off on a tangent.
Well, I mean, if it were up to me, I would ask all of you guys to text 10 people.
Okay.
That's all I want.
Okay.
Can you guys just text 10 people? And I'm not talking about your mom and your sister and your brother and your cousin. I did personally send that text. That is correct, Flip. Every single one of those were personally sent. It's true.
I know.
All right. So don't look at me in that tone of voice. So anyways, so think back to those successes, how you can achieve it. And like I said, I doubt you were sitting on the couch. You were definitely operating outside of your comfort zone when you had those big things happen. When I said some of your biggest successes, what did you think of, Jane?
I don't know. I was just thinking of so many, really. And I'm like, what did we do? But and everyone's so different, but coming into the office, think how scared you were. I don't know if you remember, but you kind of grew up in this, so it's a little different. But so many of us didn't. And just coming to the office was terrifying. What do I wear? Oh, God, I don't know what to say. I don't know contracts. And you just come in and you just start practicing and practicing. And like Adam said the other day, it's that confidence in what you're doing, like contracts even if you've never even shown a house. When you have the confidence in that, that's when you just skyrocket.
Nice.
Can we actually get an answer to that question in the chat if you're on Facebook or if you're on Zoom? Right in the the answer to that question. When did you realize your big life success?
Who?
In the audience. I'd like to hear from the audience.
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Okay,
put
yeah.
it on Facebook.
I actually like that. Yeah, if you guys can, I think that's a great idea. So.
Yeah.
So think back to your biggest success, whatever it was, and just put it down thin. And it could be, I finally had a year where I made $100,000.
Yeah.
It could be, when all 3 of my kids graduated from college. I have no idea what that biggest
Or high
success
school.
was. Or
Let's
high
be
school.
real.
So think back to those biggest successes. So write something short of what that biggest success was, and then write down, how did you achieve it? And then I want you to say, it wasn't from sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Okay?
I
So,
like it.
and here's the bottom line. You were definitely operating outside your comfort zone. Because nothing in this world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort, pain, and difficulty. Nothing in this world is worth having or worth doing unless it requires effort, pain, and difficulty. I mean, like Margaret and I, when I joined this company, we had 35 agents. You know what I mean? And it took a lot of work, and there was no sitting around to get that done. Now we're over 300, or with referral agents 400 or 500. You know what I mean? So, but it took work, and it was definitely not sitting on the couch. You know what I mean? And so it's just a little example, but that's exactly why accomplishments are so rare, though, is because most people don't like being uncomfortable.
That's not fun.
There's a reason that there's the 1%ers and the 2%ers, versus everybody else, is because Oprah went for it. She charged relentlessly. She went after it. So did Ellen. So did Biden. So did Kamala. I mean, they all did. Whoever they are, Trump. They went after it. So, but most people don't. So they never accomplish those big things. So relentless. They'll say that you can't do it. People are going to say that to you. They'll say that you're making a mistake. They'll say that you're going to fail. And it's not just those people's comments, though. Unfortunately, that's in our own head sometimes, too. That's the fourth person, especially for us Geminis. We're really nice unless you piss us off, but one of us is talking in this area, the other one, it's literally angel devil on your shoulder. But, it's just about being relentless. So anybody have any comments on that? No, but when you get sucked in, the game on the phone sure looks more fun than texting out those 10 people. Where am I at? Oh, Words with Friends. Margaret sent me one. Like whatever it might be, you get sucked in. So most of the successes, of very successful people is just because they've transcended obstacles and they've never gave up. Are people putting successes in there? Anything worth sharing? Do you want to share?
I can't read that fast.
Kim England left. Damn it.
She's got loans to go work on.
I know. So sometimes you just have to get out, stake your claim, and hustle for what you want. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And hey, how about this? How about this, guys? Listen to this. The Wright brothers, right?
Yeah.
Do you think, we think things are impossible. Thinking that things are impossible, what if we said, eventually, hundreds of people are going to get in a giant metal tube, and they're going to fly in the metal tube from Los Angeles all the way to Beijing, China?
Yeah.
Would anyone have ever believed that we're all going to get 200 people in a tube, a metal tube, and fly across the world?
Yeah.
So it just goes to show, the Wright brothers story is amazing because they actually saw that and believed that it was possible. You know what I mean? So we would just accomplish so many more things if we didn't think of them as impossible, and that's a Vince Lombardi quote. We would accomplish more things we did not even think of if we knew that things are not impossible. That's Lombardi. So anyway.
Hey, Chuck, I can't type because I'm driving.
That's
but
right.
I was sitting here thinking about the successes, and I'm like, at first it was raising my 3 boys.
Of course.
But then I thought about it, and I went, you know what? I own my own house. I bought a business this year. And for the first time ever, I caught up with my mom a little bit and bought my first Chanel and Louis bags.
Nice.
Good girl.
It sounds silly, but it's real. I would have probably never been able to do that on my own.
And did you do it sitting on the couch?
No, I was in the office every day.
Every day. And she is still in the
Yeah.
office. And wherever she's going right now, she's on the phone listening to this, probably headed to an appointment. Where are you headed right now, Brenda?
Actually, physical therapy.
Okay,
Well, and she had major neck surgery.
Correct.
Another point is, and I don't know if Tony Skane's on the call. 2 years ago, she had major surgeries as well, just like Brenda. Major surgeries. They still made the top 10. Everyone can have an excuse. We all can have an excuse. But these ladies, even though, down and out. They even still made the top 10.
Well, I mean, hey, Margaret had breast cancer twice and double mastectomies and all that sort of stuff, right? And look at it. I mean, look at everybody go.
I know. And there's nothing silly about those purses, Brenda. Don't you dare say those purses are silly. That's like legit. I made it.
All right. So
great responses though on Facebook.
you want to read a couple, Adam? Go for it.
Tiffany Cardez says, my biggest success is my daughter going into the Coast Guard and me passing my real estate exam for the first time. I passed it because I made it my priority and failing was not an option.
I love it. I love it. What else we got? Anybody else?
Let's see. Darlene. Oh, wait. You want to read?
Darlene?
Darlene, yeah.
Go ahead.
Mike Duffy says, convincing Kim to marry him. We also had Michelle Fountain said her social media post for today. Michelle Carnley says a Black Friday house sale during COVID that turned into 5 sales.
Nice, Michelle. I love it. I love it. So I mean, basically, you said yourself, like, we've had all kinds of things, trials and tribulations, people come out of, people think things are impossible. Here's a question. So what does Elon Musk say, that he's going to be taking vacation trips to the moon for people? Right? He says he's going to be, is he going to do that?
I'm sure he is.
Are we going to get a man to Mars?
I'm sure we are.
Isn't that badass?
Yeah.
And you can't get 5 more sales? Come on, people. Shit. All right, whatever. I'm sorry. I'm getting upset. All right, so.
This is a family show, Chuck. Watch your mouth.
It's not. It's not a family. Hide your kids. This is called un-F yourself, okay? All right, so the key to becoming relentless is to focus on the problems in front of you, as we know. Give it your full attention and progress even when we don't want to or when it seems lost. That's what it really comes down to. So anyone who goes to the gym, though, but it's not going to happen immediately. Success never comes immediately. And I always say, if you're really, and Sonia will back me on this, so we have what, like 300 agents in this company. Is it because of the work I did today or you did today? It's because of the work we did in the past. And real estate, whenever people are like, I'm booming right now, I'm killing. And I'm like, that's because of the work you did from 3 to 6 months ago. Right? So if just remember that the work you do now will pay off in 3 months. So, for example, anyone who goes to the gym and spends 30 minutes on the treadmill and goes and looks in the mirror, you're not going to see shit. Right? I mean,
no?
I think I see some tricep. It looks like I'm thinning out. Each exercise, each step, each movement, each action gets you better and better and closer, but it still takes time, right? Even to get in shape. I lost 20 pounds and it took me 2 months, 2.5 months, So Tristan, here it is. You ready? And this is a quote, so I can use cuss words.
Okay.
Stop doing all the shit you know shouldn't be done, and start doing all the shit you know should be done.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Hey, I can say that, and I apologize if I'm being mouthy, but you're here for this book, right? You want to come back for How to Win Friends? I won't be talking like this, but this is quotes from this book. So stop doing all the shit you know you shouldn't be doing, and start doing all the shit you know you should be doing.
Okay.
Do we agree?
Yeah, I agree.
And do we know what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, the minute we get off here, you're going to go straight to your phone and look up social media?
Well, I have to check my messages, see if people are asking if they want to join our company.
Oh, that's true. Okay, good. All right, so the bottom line is that the world around us changes. People are born every day.
Yeah.
People die every day. We grow, and then things get, the hotels in Vegas get built, and then they get torn down, and then they get rebuilt again. There's a rise, there's a fall, there's summer, there's winter. You can never really predict what's going to happen to us. And so in a sense, we have to take things as they present themselves, live in the moment, and solve issues as they arise. So this is, I'm talking to myself, right? New outlook on life, but we have to get out of the house to do it, okay? But Chuck, you always tell me to make a business plan, to make a life plan. That's probably what Sonia's thinking right now. You have us fill out these books, and now what? You're having us trash us, just walk around and wait to see what happens to you and how you're going to handle it? You still need a plan, and you still need direction. However, you cannot have this is what I'm learning. This is a big deal for me.
Okay,
you cannot have a stone cold attachment to that plan. Things change. And I like this. You'll like this. It reminded me of you. So I have a plan, so I would think, here's what you do, right? But and I'm going to try to change this. Think of life as a dance, not a march. Because I think I've always thought about, there's my plan. But it's supposed to be like, hey, here I come, and you're kind of, just kind of cruising around, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a different point of view. So the stone cold attachment to a plan is not always right. Things often change. So think of life as a dance, not a march.
Nice.
Talking to myself here.
I love it.
I expect nothing and accept everything. I expect nothing and I accept everything. So here it is, right? So live in the moment. And we have to try living in the moment, not always worrying and panicking about the future. Just take it 1 minute at a time. Remember when we did that, what was it? Was it Eat That Frog, or when they interviewed those 1,500 people that were all in the assisted living? And the majority of people, when they said, if you could change one thing in your life, what it would be? And they said, I wish I had worried less. Do you guys find yourself worrying about the future? And where it's going to go and what's going to happen and all that sort of stuff? I think you just build yourself that plan, get yourself out into life and out into the world, knowing that you have this plan, and watch opportunities and doors open. Watch opportunities and doors open. Yes, have that plan. I know I want to get there. And then, like I said, or like you said, just dance to where you're going and bounce back and forth. I didn't want to go, to a couple of the things that I've gone over the last couple of weeks, but every one of them has worked out great. And I'm really glad I went, and there's growth in that. So living in the moment, not always worrying and panicking about the future is key. And don't seek to have every event happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and all will be well with you. So I hope it's like this. No, you got to say, like, this is how it was, this is how it is, I like it, and all's going to be good. That's an Epictetus, another Greek philosopher quote.
Epictetus, you got it.
Yes, let's continue to water our plants. I saw somebody say that. Right, but you got to plant the seeds, water them, make some sales, and collect checks. Right? So
collect the checks.
Collect the checks.
And by the way, if anybody follows me on Instagram, I did not know what this talk was about, and I posted something about worrying this morning, like a quote. I did not know that this is what this was about. So
okay. All right.
Pretty cool.
Good. Should I keep going, or should I open up? If anybody wants to jump in, you can, because like I said, I'm getting worked up and excited right now. So when you're having those growing pains in life, hey, Michelle Carnley, she just moved companies.
That's stressful.
That's new worry, new anxieties. I don't know these people. Was Jenny full of crap when she sold me the Bill of Rights to join Coldwell Banker?
Is she a liar?
Is she full of it? Right now, half the people in this car are like, this isn't what I thought Coldwell Banker was going to be. She duped me. Or maybe, I don't know. But, when you're having growing pains, or setbacks, here's what we got to do. We got to realize how appropriate they are. So the fact that Michelle, now she's showing up, she's come to the Wednesday Sales Mastery, she's meeting people, she's getting to figure out who the agents are, she knows who Chuck is now, she's probably met Adam, so it just starts to open these great doors, you know what I mean? And so if there's something you want to ask for, just do it without expectations. And the growing pains, and all that stuff, they're appropriate and they're going to happen. They're going to happen. So we're going to finish up a little early today. If you have a plan that succeeds, celebrate it.
Yeah.
That's great, right? If you have a plan, and we do, I want to make this much money this year, and you hit it. I wanted my kid to graduate from high school, and he did it. I wanted to make it through one more year with that husband, and I did it.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Whatever that may be. So if you have a plan and it succeeds, you can celebrate. If it fails, recalibrate.
Okay.
All right. So recalibrate. If it doesn't work out, recalibrate. Don't expect victory or defeat. Work hard. Move forward, and sometimes you just have to let the chips fall where they may. And that's so hard for a control freak like me.
Yeah.
But look at me.
Look at you.
I hope I can actually believe this, and I hope I actually do it.
I hope so too.
Because I don't think how much more the staff can take.
I don't either.
Chuck, I wanted to say something really fast. So it's Michelle Carnley. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Michelle.
I wanted to say yes. Joining Coldwell Banker ABR is the best thing that's happened to me. I think God always has a plan and a purpose, and I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be right now. And it's funny how doors just keep opening when you trust and believe and you keep doing things in faith. So, for example, yesterday morning, I went to my verification of property on the house I have in Pleasant, 2932 Pleasant Street in escrow. And on the way back, I didn't want to go to a 9 o'clock appointment. I kept begging the guy to put it later.
Right?
Who doesn't want to sleep on a Sunday, right? But anyways, I met him at 9 o'clock coming home. My neighbor, I see him out there packing, and I pulled over, and because I just found out she had just lost her husband 2 weeks ago. Jeez. So I get out of the car, I give her a hug. I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then people started pulling up he was going to rent the house, and the son. And I said, "Why are you going to rent the house when this is the hottest market ever?" And I've known Judy for forever. She's like a mom to my kids. Why don't you just let me sell this house? And he was like, "Wow, you know what, Michelle? We never thought about that. Why don't you just go tell me what this house is worth, do a little quick CMA and come on back." So I did that, came back, and I told him the number. He's like, "Wow, okay." And more people were coming to see the house. And he said, "You know what, Michelle, we're going to trust you to sell this house. Let me get with the tax accountant tomorrow and figure out how we're going to do this, because Dad just died 2 weeks ago. But thank you for stopping and giving her a hug, because it was all meant to happen." So I feel like God just keeps opening up doors the more I say thank you to God, the more I just feel like the floodgates just keep opening. So I'm thankful and grateful that I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Well,
for the 2 new agents that are on this call that are thinking about join. You won't regret it. This is the best decision I ever made, was moving into this company.
Awesome.
So thank you very much.
Awesome.
You're wonderful.
You.
You're wonderful. And and hey, one of the other things about that is you're not on your couch.
Yeah.
You're not, making a social media post hoping you get a listing. I mean, you're actually got out of your car and you're taking care of people.
And I'm sure she was nervous to step out and go hug her friend, because that is scary. You don't know what to say. You don't know. So she did it. She just
engaged.
went with her heart, and she's like, I'm just going to go and let her know I'm thinking of her.
For sure.
Reminds me of kind of what we learned from the sales mastery last Wednesday. Ask for business too.
Yeah, right. Awesome. Right. Ask for business. Yeah. Well, that's why she had a $55,000 a month last month. That's why Michelle did that. I mean, she's fearless. So. But,
good for you, Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle. You know what? Hey, you top teners out there, look out, because there's a new sheriff that wants to. That's coming. It's coming. So
thank you guys.
So here's another quote: "Stay out of the swamp of mediocrity and drama. Reach for your greatest self, your greatest potential, and challenge yourself to live that life every single day of it." I mean, so we do have to stay out of the swamp of mediocrity and drama, and I do think that that's around comfort zones. And our comfort zones, and like I said, I can tell you almost the entire top 50 how much money they're going to make this year, because they've capped. They know where they want to go. They hit that level of comfort, and they're out, and they're done.
Yeah.
Everyone is different, So your life, your successes, your happiness really are in your own hands. That's the bottom line.
Can I share something?
Sure, go for it.
I just picked up my first check, and I feel like crying.
Congratulations!
You did it.
Thank you.
It'll be the first
you.
of many. I promise. And you know what?
Yes.
And I'll bet you had to work your ass off for that. You probably thought this business was going to be a lot easier, huh?
Well, I felt like I was challenged many times mentally. I thought my brain was scrambled, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this or not. But I've got through it. I feel more confident in the process, and I have been blessed as well, just having somebody, step along, just open doors, just the way it happened. Even for me to have this, it's just, I just consider it a miracle, because it just all unfolded.
And you feel her gratitude?
Story, but
that's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, congratulations, Amelia.
Congratulations. And you know what? Let me tell you, now that use that as an anchor and go 10 houses to the right, 10 houses to the left, 10 houses behind, 10 houses in front, and do a marketing piece and let people know you just sold in that neighborhood, and capture another house, because when there's one, there's 2 more on that street. So good luck.
True story. All right.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Great job. So in the sum up, you ready? And there's just a couple minutes left. So number 1, here's some of the things that we've learned from this book. Ready?
Okay.
I am willing. I am wired to win. I got this.
Yeah.
I embrace the uncertainty. I am not my thoughts. I am what I do. Okay. I am relentless. I expect nothing, and I accept everything. So in order to improve your internal world, you have to start by taking action in the external world. We have to do things. We have to get out of our mind and get into our life, which is the name of this book. Get out of your head and get into your life. And this is one of the things that always rattles me, but imagine you're on your deathbed, Jenny. You hear the little thing next to you, beep, 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 the little thing that goes up and down. So what regrets do you have? What sorrows do you have? What remorse do you have? And take the vision that's needed to change, to build a life you want and a life you can be proud of, because tomorrow's not promised, And so, that's why I like the section where it says, kind of live in the moment, live in the day, live in the week, live in the month, live now, and stop letting yourself out of things by saying you can't do it. Stop blaming your past. Stop doing what you're currently doing, because it's not working for some of you guys.
Right.
And start taking the actions to propel you forward. It's like I said, not about seizing the moment. It's not about your long-term plan. It's about the moment, the hour, the week, the month. And so really, everyone, you just got to go out there and un-F yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So is there any final comments? Anything you want to drop in on this, Sonia, before we head out? Because we're going to get out a tad bit early today.
Yeah, just do it. That's the main thing. Just get off your ass and move.
Make those texts. That's what I want everybody to do. I want them to text 10 clients today, people that they haven't talked to in a while.
Yeah.
Hey, Jenny, this is Chuck. Happy Monday. For some reason, you popped into my head. I hope everything is going great with you and Jeremy. Was just thinking about you. Let me know if I can ever do anything for you, Chuck. That's it.
And they probably needed to hear from you today, so don't be scared to do it.
Those people that drop in your head. And then you're going to get listings, and you're going to be cashing a check like she did.
Yeah.
And you're going to remember that, thank God I was on that Monday Motivation with Jenny and Chuck, because I just got some money, and I like money, and money's fun.
And money's not the devil. It's okay.
Money's not the devil.
It's okay.
So anyways, anybody else? Any other closing comments? Anything at all? Yes, Adam.
Well, of course, I'm contractually obligated to do this.
He's a liar. He is not.
Everyone, thank you so much. I put in questions on Facebook, and people are answering them. I really appreciate the interaction. I am seeing those, and I appreciate it very much. If you have a second, feel free to share this on your timeline. There's people out in the world that need to get motivated, that need to hear this information, and it really helps us out. It helps us grow.
They need to enough themselves.
Cool. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. And
hey, Chuck.
Yes.
Hey, one thought that I have for folks that are maybe new to sales and goal setting and this whole concept of, wait, if I have a goal, how am I supposed to be open to adjustment? One thing I think that we can all relate to, regardless of past careers or whether we were in sports or whatever we did, is think about when you first started driving. When I was, 15 and couldn't wait to get my driver's license, I would watch my parents drive. And it was that whole concept of freedom, of getting from A to B. Well, that's very easy to understand as far as setting a goal. You know where you're going to go, when you have to be there, and you drive. But when you actually start driving, you realize you don't drive in a straight line. Driving is a constant series of adjustments. And that is the exact concept that you and Jenny were talking about this morning. It's having that goal intended, that spot that you want to get to in your mind. But while you go, you don't hold your hands and grip the wheel, white knuckle it, and drive one straight line. You're constantly making small series of adjustments. So if anybody's struggling with this concept this morning, maybe think of it that way. When you drive, you're constantly making these small adjustments, these small changes that eventually get you safely to your destination. And that's really what I think, anyways, I related it to what Chuck and Jenny were talking about this morning.
Yeah, that's I think, part of the dance, not the march.
That's what I was just going to say. Exactly.
But I agree.
You got to move.
I agree with that. So
that was good, Mike.
So hopefully this was good stuff. You see why I was excited about the material, though?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
Totally.
And guess what? We have a new book coming up next week.
Oh, we're done?
We're done. This book, only two.
We've unneffed ourselves.
Is everybody feeling effed?
I feel unneffed. Feel good, ready to go.
I'm okay. I'm feeling, a little bit better. But anyways, all right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you for sharing it. This Wednesday, we're going to be having a great class on open houses for sales mastery. The room has been completely redone. We have probably 40 people that are going to be in here, a live audience. But we are talking about the lifting of the open house moratorium, exactly what it's going to look like, what are your requirements, how can I optimize it. So that'll be Wednesday at 9 a.m. Sales mastery, same bat time, same bat channel. It's all going to be on Facebook. And it should be really, really good. And let me tell you, you newer people that have been struggling out there but are still here, open houses will help you kick ass and take names, all right? And it's why you're at this company. You can get agents that'll help you get listings, and you're going to make money, and you're going to do it through open houses. So Wednesday at 9 a.m., Sales Mastery.
Actually got a client from an open house.
Huh?
Latriva.
Yeah, Latriva wrote an offer for open house this weekend. Yep. As soon as they lifted it, she sat one and boom, wrote an offer.
Great job, guys.
So thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in. Go out there, un-F yourself, and let's do it. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jenny.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.